Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Scotty.
And today we'll be talking about The Ultimatum Season 3, Episode 1.
We finally made it to the first episode, y'all. Are y'all ready to subscribe, like, share, comment? Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this, please.
Okay, so we are starting with everyone around the round table, talking to Nick and Vanessa, sharing a little bit about their stories, their relationships, and who brought who onto the ultimatum.
Okay, now listen here. We are going to do the pictures one time. I know some people want pictures throughout the episodes and things of that nature. We only going to do the pictures for the first episode. Every episode after that, turn on your phone, turn on your laptop, search it yourself. Okay, y'all not gonna make more work for me. Okay, go ahead, Blair. Walk us through these couples, please.
Okay, so we've got Zaina and JR. They've been dating for 3 years. They're in their 30s, and she gave him the ultimatum. They met on a dating app. She's thinking about freezing her eggs because of her age. He had a marriage in the past, which he had a divorce, and he has some fear around getting remarried and getting a divorce again. There was infidelity in his marriage. He didn't tell us who or what, but he wants to make sure that Zaina is the right one.
My first thoughts when it came to them was okay, both of them look good. You get what I'm saying? But once he said that he was married before, I was like, yeah, he's not gonna marry this girl and things like that. I think he's wasting her time. She's 32, so I don't want to be insensitive. I don't know the age really. I know after 35 it starts getting a little bit more like
considered geriatric.
Yeah.
Pregnancy.
So 32 to me that seemed kind of early, but I think she feels like I don't think he's serious about me.
Yeah.
So when she brought up freezing her eggs, I was like, oh, it's really that bad? To like the point where like you brought them on the show and things of that nature. What is the thoughts you had of them first, if you had any?
Yeah, first impressions, I just thought they were a good-looking couple.
Yeah.
I was a little bit turned off by the fact that she had to bring him on and he had been married before. I would think that if he's been married before, he knows what it means to want to marry somebody. So in a turn, that makes me feel like he knows that he doesn't want to marry her. And I think that this was her last ditch effort, which of course for all of them it pretty much is. But I think for him, being that he's been married before, I think he has a little bit more understanding of what it takes for him to get to that point, and he's just not cluing her in. Yeah. So moving on, we've got Sandy and Nick. They've been dating for 2.5 years, and he was the one who gave the ultimatum. He's an artist. He is ready to settle down. He's about 10 years older than her, but she doesn't know if now is the time for her to settle down. He doesn't want to part ways with her, but if that's what's best for them, that can happen.
Yeah, I'm always skeptical about the guy that gives the ultimatum. I'm like, yeah, I think it's better for the guy to just leave the relationship if he have to give an ultimatum. I know that may seem like a double standard, but for him to be older and for her to not want to settle down with him, I'm just like, bro, like she don't want to basically do life with you, just move on. Compared to like a woman who gives an ultimatum, it's almost like you hear it's almost normalized because they do have a clock and things of that nature. So with them, I was just like, yeah, I don't think y'all go work just off of that alone, just the fact that he gave the ultimatum.
And I do find the gap, the 10-year age difference, is kind of a big deal, especially if you're ready to settle down and the person that you're with is not. Just get somebody who's closer to your age who might be ready to settle down. Yeah. I don't know why he's so, he probably loves the girl, but as we continue in the episode, I kind of don't really see what draws them together other than physicality, to be honest. So moving on, we've got Mariah and Caleb. Yeah. They've been together for 2 years, and Mariah issued the ultimatum. She's 24, but she knows what she wants. She is younger than him. He thinks that she should take her time and enjoy life a little bit.
Yeah, I really didn't get nothing from them. At least from them just sitting there. Did you get anything from them, like any type of first impressions?
Yeah, I thought it was weird how he was saying like she needed to enjoy her life a little bit. I didn't, and of course they didn't go into deep detail, but it made me wonder, I mean, you guys are still in a relationship, so in what ways do you mean she should enjoy her life? Just if you guys are married, it doesn't mean she can't still do what she's doing and be married. So I didn't quite know what he meant by her enjoying herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, with other people.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
but Dave, he's already checking out the women, and he finds Mariah attractive.
Dave is a funny character because once we get to the end of this episode, Dave, the switch up you did with your partner is crazy.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, Dave thought he was about to be hot stuff.
Of
That's
course.
what I think.
Uh-huh.
So we get into Dave and Vanessa. They've been together for 3 years.
Yeah.
Vanessa issued the ultimatum. He treats the topic of marriage like it's taboo. He says it's on the horizon, but he's not in a rush. It is a slow decision-making process for him.
Mm-hmm.
She does not see why he can't just commit to her.
All right, so I have to try to taper my first impressions with what I know of Dave.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So my first impression of him was he don't take nothing seriously, right? Like he's just like a child in a man's body. You get what I'm saying? The fact that he said, "Oh, it's taboo," it's kind of like he's the one that will always take the opposite side of like whatever is like normalized. So if it's married with a white picket fence with a dog, he's like, why do we need marriage? How come we can't live in an apartment in the city? How come we need a dog? Or why don't we get an ant? Like he just seemed like the type of person that always going to be the contrarian in every type of situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's from first impression. Now when I tell y'all what I think about Dave later on, I'll be like, all right, man, you know?
Yeah, I was a little bit thinking that Dave was just kind of a sleazeball. I'm just like, how he already checking out the women and they ain't even really get to know anybody
Whole time
yet. So I was just like, Dave is here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Aria and Scotty. They've been together for 3 years.
What's up, Scotty?
Scotty issued the ultimatum. She wants to marry him, but doesn't think now is the best time. They are in different cities, and she's at the peak of her career. She would need to move in order to make the relationship work, and she has seen her mom give a lot in a relationship, and her mom is divorced now.
What is your thoughts first?
I feel like with Aria and Scotty, I just don't think they're ready yet.
Yeah.
I think that Aria, if she is basing what she will or won't compromise on in a relationship based off of her mother's relationship, that already tells me that she's not in the space to really give it her all. And I don't know if maybe she doesn't think Scotty deserves her all, or if she is really just enjoying living her life independently.
And that's what I was going to go with.
Yeah. And as far as Scotty, it does seem like he's ready to settle down and get the ball rolling, but I feel like she's just enjoying her independence, and maybe they shouldn't be together. I mean, if he's ready to move on and she's not, you can't make her want to do that. And she will end up, I feel like, regretting it and being resentful in the process. So
here's the thing. Right, she says she's young and she's in the peak of her career, and they live in different cities, right?
Yeah.
So already they're not even like in the same city. I feel like there's a lot of sacrificing that they have to do, and I'm gonna just speak from her perspective. I don't think she sees him as an asset. I think she sees him as, I have to give up something for you besides like me being with you will add to like my life. So, and Scotty may come off the type of person of, hey, you need to move where I'm at. You need to, basically reset your life. And I just want to be with you. I don't really care what you got going on. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But usually when it comes to marriage, because we're married, you view the person as an asset of like, okay, even though I am sacrificing, I'm gaining something more. And I don't think she views Scotty that way. I think she views Scotty as someone she has to choose either or. With her life, career, her way of living, her family, or Scotty. I don't know.
Yeah. And then Nick and Vanessa go into explaining the process of the ultimatum, where they, of course, come in with their original partners. Then they get to choose who they want to be paired up with for the trial marriage, and they'll have 3 weeks to live with the trial marriage person. Then they will switch back to having their original partner for a trial marriage period. And after that, they will decide to either get engaged, go away single, or be with a new partner.
Okay. Thank you.
So the original couples, it is their final night together.
Yes.
We're with Vanessa, who's 30, and Dave is 34. Vanessa says, you either know or you're questioning whether or not I'm the right person for you.
Yeah.
He tells her that he has been committed to her, so why does marriage scream more commitment?
You see what I mean? He just want to be a contrarian.
Mm-hmm. And Vanessa explains to him that it's diving into the deep end, and if he can't commit to her, then they'll be done.
Yeah.
He's surprised that she would give him the ultimatum. There's a high likelihood that he might connect with somebody else, and he did already find Mariah interesting. And Vanessa says she's 24. What are you going to do with her?
See,
have a good time.
See,
Pretty much.
Here's the thing about Dave, right? Dave, you got too much dip on your chip, right? The ultimatum is only fun if you're having fun. But as we're going to see in the episode, it don't look like you're having fun, Dave, right? Because he came in with the expectation of this, a high likelihood, Blair, that, you know, the bras gonna be on me.
Shawty's gonna be on my
exactly.
body.
Because, dude, you see my shades, right? And just to let you know, I'm already looking at Mariah. And I'm like, what's the word? The pride or the ego of you to think that, for one, that just because you're looking at Mariah will want to look at you. You get what I'm saying?
And that's the other thing, too, for me, because Mariah is the one who issued the ultimatum and is ready to settle down, but he thinks that because she's 24, he can play around with her. Like, that's crazy.
So it's like, I really don't understand, like, the whole point of even telling the person he's with, like, oh, yeah, I'm interested in the girl that was in front of me, to he just trying to make her feel uncomfortable, to make it feel like, well, this is what you wanted. Well, guess what? I'm about to play. Well, we about to see about that, Dave.
So we learned a little bit more about Chanel and Micah. They actually didn't get a segment at the original sit down. I was wondering, is that because they're going to be leaving early? I don't know, but they tell us a little bit about them now. Chanel is 27. Micah is 28. They've been together for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
She issued the ultimatum, and she thinks that this experiment could bring them back together stronger.
Dude, like, you think a situation like this or a show like this can make your relationship stronger?
Never.
Me neither.
Never.
Because I was like, I don't know, man. For one, I don't like ultimatums. Like, you give me an ultimatum, I'm just going to automatically choose whatever you don't want me to choose. Number two, the whole dating in front of somebody as if that's supposed to make me like you. I'm just gonna call you a 3 or 4 and then just keep on going. You get what I'm saying? Like so that's why I'm like, I don't get it. But, you know, it is what it worked for Nick and Vanessa. You know what I'm saying? But it is. But
did they have to see them with the other person?
No, they didn't. Face? And then Vanessa even gave her whole story of how, like, she basically was the problem in the relationship. So it's like how you gonna give him the ultimatum and be the problem? Like,
exactly. You was out here partying until 2 a.m.
Exactly. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. When it comes to them, well, I'll go further.
Yeah, keep going.
So Micah says, "How do you see yourself as my wife?" Chanel feels like they've been through a lot already, and she's already proved herself. Micah says that they've been there for each other. She was doing Uber Eats. After he got done working, he would go and help her out. Chanel doesn't want to be called his wife and not actually be his wife.
Yeah.
Micah says that you just got started in your marketing career. Like, imagine being married and then kids happening. Then you're going to have to take a back seat from the career you just started. Well, Chanel tells him, I'm not asking for kids right now. He's not in a rush. He wants to have a family with her and be married, but not right now. Chanel says waking up each morning, it isn't promised. They could be here one day and gone the next. Micah says, what if he doesn't have an answer at the end of this, and she would have to leave?
And this is what confuses me about them. I'm like, obviously, throughout your relationship, based on what y'all told us, is that y'all been there for each other. Like, y'all doing Uber Eats together. Like, y'all are basically a team, a partnership. So what is it about marriage that you have incorrect? That you are basically saying, like, you know, once we get married, then kids go come, and then you just started your career, and then you got to take a backseat from, like what is it about marriage that you don't know that you are guessing about? You get what I'm saying? Because everybody else's marriage don't have to be your marriage, and that's the whole point of being with somebody, is that you can actually kind of like plan things out and foresee. And so that's why I'm like, I think they are overthinking, or at least the one that don't want to get married, the one that was issued an ultimatum. He's overthinking of what their marriage might be. And I'm like, you know, you have the control of to make it however you want it to be. So that was my thought on them.
Yeah, I did kind of wonder why he asked her, like, along the questions of, well, how do you know that, not how do you know you're going to be a good wife, but basically, like, what makes you, how do you see yourself as my wife? And honestly, if they're like you said, being there for each other and with each other through the highs and the lows as long as it's been. I mean, what else does she have to do to show how she would be? I feel like she's putting everything out there for him to see. I will say, however, they are what, 27, 28. They've been together for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I still think that's kind of young. I know some people get married in their late 20s and it's fine, but they've been together 2.5 years. Some people will say that's long enough.
Yeah.
In your 20s, I don't know. I feel like you're still learning a lot, making mistakes, and trying to improve as a person. So I could understand them waiting maybe till 30 or so until they're a little bit more established and a little bit out of the kind of the mental stage of just trying to get their footing and feeling more confident and comfortable in themselves and where they are in life. But at the same time, you don't have to wait for that. If you feel like you guys can grow and build together, you don't have to wait for that little bit more of stability. But it's like I can see both sides when it comes to them.
But here's the thing. They are going against you gotta understand, they both at the end of their 20s, so 30 probably scares both of them because 30 you're entering into like basically full adulthood. So I'm thinking he don't want to tackle a whole bunch of things at once. Maybe. He's like, I don't want to be turning 30. I want to be secure in my career. I want you to be secure in your career. But the one thing I will criticize Micah of, that's a terrible question. Yeah. How do you see yourself as my wife? Blair don't know how to be a wife to me. I don't know how to be a husband to her unless she tells me. You get what I'm saying? So he don't need to put the onus or the question for her to answer. How do you see yourself being a wife to me? That's cool. But at the end of the day, we're all guessing until we actually sit down and have a conversation and be like, this is what I expect from a wife. This is how you can support me. This is how I want to be loved and things of that nature. If there's something that you can't do, if there's something we can compromise on. So like I said, it's very different. When you say I do, that's the least amount of information you will have at the altar, right? Compared to years after the fact. So I think they just overthinking, but who knows?
So we get to Sandy, who's 27, Nick, who's 38.
Yeah.
She wants him to love her fire, and he loves it when it's not directed at him.
That already lets me know, like, you probably be yelling and got anger.
Yeah. Well, they start kissing and touching and sitting on each other, so their last night seemed like it was a physical night, not much talking.
Yeah, this already lets me know Nick is the one that's older than her, right?
Yeah, by like 11 years.
Yeah, their relationship is based on sex.
Yeah.
That is my whole theory on them, because especially when they was talking about Scorpios and things like that, I think their relationship is only based on sex, and she can't think past that. You know what I'm saying?
So it is the original couple's final morning together. We've got Scotty, who's 30. Arya is 25. She imagined him being more sad about this. He is sad they're breaking up, but they're not on the same page. And he brought them here to, try to figure out their situation.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can grow with being with someone long distance. And Arya says, well, won't it be interesting? Most of the girls living here, live in LA. He's interested to see if someone has shown moments of compromise in their relationship, because they have an issue with compromising. Yeah. There hasn't been a lot of emotional connection recently because they've been apart. He's looking for someone who wants to be married.
I would like to know who's not compromising, because compromising is in a relationship, it's a two-man sport. You get what I'm saying? It takes two people to compromise. So it's a give and take. So one thing about Scotty that I'm jumping towards the end, when he was talking to what is shorty name? Zaina. He was like, yeah, my girl not really into physical touch. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, what? Okay, then what is your compromise to that then? Because, listen, I can 100% be like, okay, she's not into physical touch, and then put the onus on her. But what is your way around it to make her comfortable with it, if there is a way? You get what I'm saying? So I would just like to know more details around Scotty and his lady.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got Mariah, 24, Caleb, 29. She thinks that they'll be better after this experience.
I don't think so.
Caleb has talked about her taking time for... Not Michelle. What's her name? Mariah. I didn't say that. Caleb has talked about her taking time for herself, getting to know other people. Caleb wouldn't want her to resent him years later and end up going through a midlife crisis. Communication has been an issue for them, and she's sad to think of him as an ex. Honestly, this is really throwing a monkey wrench out there, but I think Caleb be cheating on her.
Yeah, I think
I'm like, Caleb is not that invested in this situation.
Caleb thinks very highly of himself, and he's like, you know what? I just don't want to send her to a midlife crisis, bro. You are just one experiment in her whole life. You get what I'm saying? Like, there will be guys after you. You know what I'm saying? So that I was like, okay, I understand. Because it may come off as if he sound caring, but it's like he's kind of big upping himself, like in a real subliminal way.
But also he's saying, yeah, you can get to know other guys. Like you can, experience and experiment and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why are you so comfortable with that? Like that's odd to me.
Look, I think being on the show is odd altogether.
Well, yeah.
But if we're going to be on the show, then look, I probably would have the same attitude too. If I actually one day become dumb enough to sign up for the show with my wife, right? I probably would have the attitude like, we're here now. Like it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird though.
So Zaina and JR, their relationship has been great so far.
Yeah.
But they kind of just let things happen as they happen. He's not looking forward to seeing her match with someone and catching feelings. And Zaina says, either of them could find someone who's more compatible.
Go back to that first line. They said that they just let things happen the way things happen.
Yeah.
As they talk about their
relationship.
Talk about their relationship. So that already lets me know that she probably just feels like there's no direction in the relationship. Like basically like whatever Monday brings is Monday. Whatever Tuesday brings is Tuesday. And JR is probably the one that's basically in the passenger seat with her. Like, so we just vibing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Zaina looked ready to go to that pool party. She had on her cute little outfit. He put on his all white. So they're ready to hit the town.
Yeah.
So everyone's kissing each other goodbye, and everyone is officially single now.
Okay.
So we get to the speed dating by the pool. Chanel and Dave ended up clicking. He was funny, but she's still thinking about her ex. Aria was saying in her last relationship, it was kind of superficial. It's hard for guys to get vulnerable. And Dave tells her that he likes getting deep. He asks her about her love languages. He talks about liking to do acts of service. But when your partner starts to expect it, it's disappointing because it's no longer appreciated.
How do you know? Like that's such a weird stance to take from Dave.
I mean, how is it weird?
Like he said he talks about liking to do acts of service, but when it comes expected, it's disappointing when it's not appreciated anymore. I'm just like,
because he said he likes to get coffee for Vanessa, but after a while she gets used to it and expects it, and it's not.
But what's wrong with that though? Like the whole point of the love language is like, hey, it's the whole point of being in service. If you're gonna do acts of service, and the reason why that stuck out to me because my love language is acts of service, meaning I like to do. That's how I show love, right? I don't do it for thank yous. I don't do it for appreciation either. You get what I'm saying? It's how I show my love. So like, are you doing it just for the praise? Or do you really love the person? Or do you just love giving the person coffee? You're not looking for the thank you for the coffee, thank you for the coffee, thank you for the coffee, even though you may get it and that may seem good. But the minute that they don't say thank you, you don't do it no more? So you don't show your acts of service? Like, that's why I'm like, that's weird to me.
Oh, I don't know. Not to me. I feel like it does suck when you're in a relationship and people start taking the small things for granted. And I think that's what he was speaking to as far as like we do things for each other, but it's nice to be appreciated.
I understand
and
that.
For the person to express that. So I see where he's coming from. I also feel like this whole conversation is fake.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I feel like Dave is just trying to say the right things because he wants the girls on his body.
Yeah.
And other than that, he's just here for a good time.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess for me, the way acts of service is to me, the way that I display it is, hey, I love this person. I'm going to show that I love this person through this avenue. I'm not doing it for the thank yous and the appreciation. I'm doing it because I love you. I'm happy that you may be appreciative, but that's not the engine that's driving me to like do it for thank yous. I'm doing it because I love you. It kind of reminds me of my father. My father wasn't very a vocal person, but one way that he showed love to my mom was he cooked for her all the time, right? But he didn't cook for her and wanted for thank you. He just like, this is how I express my love for her. So that's why I was like, it's just weird that he's looking for a thank you. If that's his love language, if that's your love language, if that's the way you show your love language, then you gotta be responsible for showing it that way and things like that. It's not predicated on a thank you or somebody else. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know.
Well, Vanessa says that Dave was more into the relationship at first, and now she's the one who's more into the relationship.
That's fair.
She is intrigued by Nick. He's an artist and wants to settle down, and she shares that she likes painting.
Yeah, I need to know, like, you're an artist. How much money you bring in a year? Is this a lucrative? Are you a lucrative artist, or are you a struggling artist? You get what I'm saying?
Question.
Yeah, I need to ask those questions.
Yeah. Nick says that Sandy is more spicy. He's on the calm side, but he likes the fact that Vanessa is a sweet person.
Okay.
And I will say that when it comes to Nick and Sandy, number one, we already have a theory that it's a purely physical relationship.
Yeah.
And it appears, I don't know, like I feel like you see those relationships where there's a woman who is really mean to her boyfriend and he just kind of deals with it because he thinks she's hot or maybe the sex is good or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But there is a lot more to a relationship than just that small type of thing. And if he ends up getting with somebody who's actually like nice to him, that might be just better for him overall. And might be something to get him to where he wants to be. Because why do you want to marry somebody who's mean to you?
Whole time.
So
because he probably don't think there's no such thing as a nice girl in a relationship. He probably think all girls like this.
Yeah.
And then he gets with a nice girl and he's like, whoa, you're right.
Yeah. So JR and Sandy chat. They are both physically attracted to each other, and
Really?
they're both Scorpios. He heard that the sex was crazy between Scorpios, and Sandy says it's definitely fun. She's had experience doing that before. He says that Zaina is a Pisces and they can be a bit emotional.
Okay.
And they were both given the ultimatum.
Listen here, man. I know like you're not with your girl no more, but like, you know, defend your girl just a little bit, you know? and my whole thing is he comes off as someone that just want to do things. As in like he already been married before. Now we don't know if he was the one that cheated or things of that nature, but he just comes off as someone that just want to do things on his bucket list.
Yeah.
Like the one to be like, oh yeah, I never had sex with like another Scorpio before. It's like he's more intrigued with that than the actual like settling down with like marriage again.
Aria chats with JR and they both noticed each other's fashion sense. He talks about how he got married at 22 and his dad is a pastor. He waited to have sex until after marriage and that's why they got married so young. He's a middle child and she is one of 8.
Wow, a lot.
Aria says that her ex lives in LA. She's in the Bay, and she would fly back and forth to see him. And to me, that's like another reason why Aria probably doesn't want to compromise because she's already doing most of the traveling.
Wow.
And she's like, no, now I got to give up my life, move to LA, and whatever the case, like I have to do when I'm there with you. It's kind of like how much is Scotty really giving?
And that's where and that's what I said in the beginning. Is he an asset? Is it worth it? And I don't know if it's worth it to her. I don't know. Like, for one, I think y'all should break up. The fact that y'all got to get on a flight. It's one thing if y'all in different cities and y'all can just drive to each other, but y'all got to get on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nah.
Or at least if because we were long distance at first, like for a period of time. But I think that you should have like an end goal in sight of when you're no longer going to be long distance. It can't just be an infinite type situation and then we'll get married at the end of it. It's like, when are we actually going to be together and get to spend time together?
Yeah, and to your point, that is true. And maybe like from my perspective, it'd probably be easy. It's easier to share now since we're already married and like we are together. I wasn't moving to where she was at, so like
I wanted to leave where I was at.
So, but my whole thing is I did not know she wanted to leave. So when we first got together, it was already in my head that I'm not moving down there. So things just worked out. I don't know.
Yeah. So Mariah talks to David. She is not interested in casual dating. She wants a solid love. Zaina talks to Scotty. It's attractive for a guy to know what he wants, and he was the one who issued the ultimatum.
I see you,
Scotty says that they are on different timelines with him and Arya. Zaina says, well, you and your partner should be on the same page, and we learned that they are both in their 30s. She lives with her ex, but their lease is up in October. Scotty thinks that Zaina is wifey material.
I see you there with your Versace shades on, sitting down. Listen here, I'm sorry. Scotty just gets off corny to me. I don't see the chemistry. I don't see it, right? I think what she said is really what really drew her there to him. Is that, number one, you're the only other black guy. And number two, you are the one that offered the ultimatum.
Yes.
That is what we gotta like. But I don't think that she's physically attractive, or attracted rather, to Scotty.
I don't know. I think the physical attraction's there, but I do think the our overarching thing is that he knows that he wants to be married.
Yeah.
That's something that she wants. She also wants to have children. She don't want to wait much longer. So if she can get with somebody who's on the same timeline as her and they get along, then why not?
Yeah.
You know. So so it's 4 days until the choice. We have a cocktail party mixer with everybody. They end up playing a game called Quarters, and they have to whisper a question, flip a coin. If it lands on heads, the person has to say what the question they were asked was.
Yeah.
Arya shares that she had the least chemistry with Dave.
Wow.
Caleb would spend the night with Arya. JR would not want Nick to date his ex.
Okay.
Sandy would want to go on a second date with JR. Vanessa asked Nick who he was most intimidated by, and he said Vanessa.
Okay.
Vanessa and Nick bond over feeling awkward, growing up being homeschooled, and he had a strong initial attraction to her. She was pretty happy to hear that.
Nice.
Now, Dave is concerned.
Oh, no, not Dave.
That he might not walk out of here with Vanessa.
Oh, no.
He sees her across the way, laughing and giggling with Nick, and he's getting nervous.
No, not Dave. Dave is concerned that he may not walk out here with Vanessa. At first, you was more concerned for her that she may not walk out here with you.
Exactly.
But now the shoe's on the other foot. Listen here, I'm trying to tell people all the time, right? Guys will approach women all the time, right? When the ratio is crazy, right? There is no man that gets more women than there's a woman that gets more men. You put the most beautiful woman and the most beautiful man or whatever, the woman is going to get more attraction. So here's the thing about it. Dave thinking that, oh, I'm a hot, I'm a hot piece of meat over here.
Okay.
Until he found out, for one, during the game of quarters, that, yeah, like, Dave, I'm not into Dave. And she's like, wait a minute, I thought I was doing good out here. And now you finding out that people are into your woman. And now all of a sudden you scared.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. This is the game, right? Go ahead. Keep going, Blair.
So Dave checks on Vanessa. He's wondering how she's doing and if he even needs to explore a connection with anybody else. He's getting nervous. Well, Vanessa pretty much tells him, we ain't leaving this early. She said, we need to go through this and we need to learn from this experience.
And the funny part about it is, on their first night as a couple, Vanessa was the one that actually looked nervous on the first night. And now she looked like, at the cocktail party, like, I'm having a good time. Like, now I want to do this. And Dave is like, I want to go home.
Yes.
I'll marry you. No matter of fact, I don't want to marry you, but I just don't want you here with other men.
And Vanessa says, suck it up.
Yeah, basically. She said, I can't do math, but we here for 7 weeks.
Exactly.
7 months. I don't know. So it is what it is.
JR asks Sandy what's lacking with Nick. And Sandy said Nick's head is in the clouds. He doesn't ask her how her day is. He doesn't take the time to really talk to her in that way.
That's fair.
JR feels that he gets a lot of jealousy from Zaina. He gets a lot of comments on his posts. What are you posting, JR?
That's what I'm saying. Hold on.
Come on now.
JR seemed like the type to thirst trap.
Exactly.
You know
like,
what
he
I'm saying?
probably got his body and his little showing and stuff. All that.
Did, like, you see him when he was getting dressed and things like that? He said this is earned, not given.
Yeah.
Talking about his body. So he's talking about his chest and his shape, like, this is earned, not given. And then, like, where he was wasting that cologne on, he said, I sprayed behind my ears, I sprayed on my wrist, I sprayed on my neck, I sprayed on my balls, I sprayed on my butt. I'm like, bruh, like you're wasted cologne.
Yeah.
Okay? So basically, you are a walking thirst trap, and he knows. You see, those are the worst type of guys. The guys that know that they are, quote unquote, the baddies.
Yeah.
And he got to be in the comments because he's over here posting pictures with no shirt on.
Exactly.
And he in the living room. He ain't
his pants halfway down.
He not even on the beach. You get what I'm saying? I'm judging this man. I don't know what he be posting. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Let me button up my shirt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Don't show him what.
I'm about to say
stuff.
no. Trust me. This was given. This wasn't her. This was given. Okay. My mama and my daddy. Okay.
Well, Sandy says that as long as there is trust, that's how you know you're good in a relationship.
Okay.
They both want kids. He grew up homeless, and that helped drive him to the success that he has today.
Yeah.
He compliments her calves again. He keeps talking about her calves.
Yeah.
I guess she has big calves or whatever because he has little calves. They end up cuddling up, and he sees the fire in her eyes, and he just feels like she would guarantee passionate sex. He says that they would have some cute mixed kids.
That was a weird statement to say at the end.
I was just like, he just want a white woman. I don't know if he want to be with one,
that's weird,
experience one, or have a baby by one. But JR and Sandy, neither of them are serious to me. These are very unserious people.
Like, even saying like we gonna have some mixed kids was kind of like,
yeah,
like you just met her.
Exactly. And you're not even considering like, do I want to be with her? Would I want to marry her? You just like, you could pop out some babies for me.
And what's wrong with like black kids?
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I got a dashiki on the table. I don't want to pull it out. Keep going.
Next, we've got Zaina and Scotty. They are vibing.
Oh yeah.
Zaina wants her partner to have laser focus on her. She likes that Scotty knows that he wants to be married. And Arya starts crying when she sees Zaina and Scotty walking by holding hands.
Oh yeah, they holding hands.
She goes to the bathroom to kind of get herself together, and Caleb gives her a hug and checks on her. Scotty says that Arya is not a physical touch person, and it bothers him. He feels that he has a natural connection with Zaina, and asks her how she feels about possibly doing a trial marriage together. Well, Zaina is down for it. But Arya comes in to separate what they got going on.
Oh, yeah, leave.
She asked him, holding hands in front of me?
Yeah.
Just don't do it in front of my face.
You gonna be disrespectful?
And he issued her the ultimatum. He tells her, look, I'm the one who was trying to marry you. You're the one who didn't know or couldn't make up your mind, so I issued you the ultimatum, and here we are.
Come on, Blair.
He says, don't come at me and do this to me. He gets a little more bass and loud in his voice. Don't do this to me. Don't come at me like this.
I like that.
You've been talking to JR. Don't come at me like this. Okay? And that's where we end.
First of all, don't come at me, dude. You see my shades, right? First of all, he thinks he's like, that's why I say he's corny. He's so cool. Just, and I'm just like, here's the thing, right? I think JR, if we were to talk about, what is shorty name?
Arya.
No. Zaina, right? Her man, JR, he's only going to be as faithful as his options. He knows he's a thirst trap. He knows he probably getting comments. He knows he's probably getting all these type of women that's probably low energy and just things like that, that's willing just to be sexual, just like the girl he's talking to now, right? So that's why he don't want to settle down. That's obvious, right? Now here's where Zaina, you may fall into the trap of actually liking Scotty, because the only thing that y'all are bonding on is that both of y'all issued the ultimatum, but you don't even know what type of partner Scotty will be yet.
Exactly.
Right? And the fact that he's with somebody that's long distance, and she don't see him as an asset to where, like, for one, she's flying, she's doing the flying based on her description. We don't know who Scotty is outside of these shades. You get what I'm saying? And I'm always cautious of someone who wears shades during these type of events and things like that, because you can't see the eyes, even though his shades is transparent and things like that. But I'm just like, what is it that you're trying to hide? You get what I'm saying? What are you trying to basically cover up? What was your thoughts on like this scene where he was basically getting bold on her and basically things of that nature?
Yeah, I thought he was going off for no reason. I don't know why he was yelling at that girl. like all she was saying was, it was disrespectful. If you're going to do what you do, like, just please be mindful of where I'm at and don't throw it in my face. And he was doing the most. I do, however, get his frustration by the fact that if you would just marry me, we wouldn't even be here.
That's true.
But she doesn't have to marry you, and you don't have to force her in a situation to where she has to give up her life in order to be married to you. And what does that give her? It doesn't seem like she knows. Listen, so it's time.
No, listen, Scotty put on his best performance. I don't know, you remember that episode with Will Smith and like his father Lou, when Lou came back into his life. He was like, when Lou told Will, like, hey, sorry man, you won't be able to come with me on the road. And that's when he based up on Will talk about like do like you think I want this and things like that. That's basically what he was basically saying. He's like, look, all I'm doing is just holding hands, like just marry me, like why are you coming at me like this? And I'm just like, Scotty, be cool, man. Like, you have the shades, man. But I think Scotty's going to unravel. Scotty come off as the type of person that's hiding who he is. That's why he got all these shades. Scotty's going to unravel. And I'm already off of JR, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen here, we're going to get as much episodes as possible before the next batch of episodes drop. So we need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on that notification bell, because I'm releasing this in the next 2 hours. You may get an ultimatum episode 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, because once I'm get done editing, I'm getting it off of me.
Yep.
Okay? It's going to be off of me and in y'all hands and in y'all feed and things of that nature. So y'all be good.
Bye.